Good morning, students. Welcome back to your science class. We have already completed the syllabus of unit test and all the study materials and the questions and answers are provided. In this class today, we will have a revision on the chapter metals and non-metals. So students, let's start today's class. Iron, silver, gold, copper, aluminium. These are very important metals nowadays. The important things like cars, buses, bridges, railway tracks, ships, devices, all these things are made up of metals. So we can use metals for so many different things. But how? Here comes the physical properties. These are solid at room temperature, exception mercury. They have metallic luster, that means shiny in appearance. And they have the malleability, that means can be made into thin sheets. They are also ductile, so that they can be used to draw the wares. They have very high melting and high boiling points, and they are the good conductor of heat and electricity. So that's why metals are very useful nowadays. Sodium, aluminium, potassium, these are very soft metal. But most of the metals usually are hard. But non-metals either in solid or in gaseous state. But exception bromine, which is in liquid state, usually do not have the luster and do not possess the property of hardness. Iodine has some non-metallic luster and carbon is very hard. Non-metals do not conduct electricity and they have very low melting and low boiling point. But graphite is the exception, which has the good conductor of electricity property. So graphite, bromine, iodine, these all are the examples of the non-metals. Now what about the use of the metals? I told you that metals are used to produce lots of things nowadays. Machineries, automobiles, aeroplanes, trains, railway tracks, satellites used to study the astrophysics, industrial and household gadgets, cooking utensils, water boilers, etc. Metals are used to produce so much machines in case of scientific study, medical studies, medical uses, etc. So metals are very, very useful for us. Now what are the uses of non-metals? Iodine is used as antiseptic. Oxygen is very essential for all human beings, we already know. Sulfur is used for making firecrackers. And phosphorus is used in matchbox industry and of course in fertilizers. So these are the very basic, common, precise uses of non-metals. Now what are the chemical properties of metals? First of all, metals react with water. Generally metals form respective hydroxide when they react with water. For example, reaction with sodium. Sodium metal vigorously reacts with water and forms sodium hydroxide. Similarly, potassium also reacts with water to produce potassium hydroxide. So, reacting with water, metals are producing the metallic hydroxide respectively. And hydrogen gas is liberated. This is very important. So, what about rusting? Rusting is a chemical property of metal, specifically in case of iron. Rusting is the term used for the corrosion of iron. While iron rusts, other metals corrode. When an iron object is exposed to moist air for quite some time, then iron gets converted into reddish brown flaky substance known as rust. This process is known as rusting. And rusting of iron is a very serious problem. And now how to prevent rust? Painting, oiling, galvanizing, alloying, These are the process.